Hi, I'm Neil Das, and this is week 2 of my coding journey. This is the first game I made, but it was really just following the tutorial by Game Maker's Toolkit called the Unity Tutorial for Complete Beginners, and it's a bit laggy because it couldn't get recorded right. And for week 2, I decided to just brainstorm a little, and I wanted a Hollow Knight-like game. If you don't know what that is, here's a clip of it. And I also wanted a dash movement and a final boss. And also I wanted a Celeste-like art, which is 8-bit slash 16-bit. And here's a clip of that. And after I was making art, I realized there's a stamp gallery, and I found Celeste. And I used that as my reference for it. And after deleting that monstrosity, I came up with this. And I'm pretty proud of it. And what I've learned from this is that making a game actually takes longer than you think, because making that first game, following the tutorial, actually cut into week 2, and I thought it would just take a few days, but after trial and error, I finally got it to work. But time wasn't my only setback. I also had little knowledge about Unity as a game engine and coding outside of the tutorial I watched, so it took me a while to figure out a lot of things. For example, the sprite. As I tried to make it a game object, it didn't work until I put it directly in the scene. But then it wasn't the right size, so I had to change the size to 6,000 by 6,000. But this is too big, so I had to half that, but it was still too big. So I halved it again to get 1,500 by 1,500, and this was the perfect size. As my final thing in week 2, I decided to make players moving. So I opened up my code and started coding. But I realized I didn't know how to change velocity from left to right, as the Flappy Bird game changed velocity from up and down. So I found a tutorial called 2D Player Movement in Unity by Bendux, and this worked really well. But the only problem is, whenever you change directions, it flips the character in the X scale, and it looks kinda odd, so I'll be fixing this in week 3. I also decided to make a jumping mechanic, but this kind of sent him to space, so I changed his gravity scale to 5, and this worked much better, as you can see. So my plans for week 3 would be adding world art and a tutorial level. Thanks for watching, and tune in for next week.